Assistant Superintendent for Teaching, Learning, and Leadership. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about summer learning. Summer learning is an initiative that the district started approximately 3 years ago, where we formalized what we sent home with students pre-K to 12 to help them keep up with their studies and practice valuable skills during the summertime. Tonight's session is going to address the following 5 questions. You're going to leave here understanding why it's important for students to do reading and math practice over the summer. You're going to understand what it is the students at each age group are asked to do. You are going to know what's happening in the district to support summer learning. I'm going to help you find the resources where they're going to be housed over the summer and make sure you understand who you can reach out to should you have any questions this summer. Yeah, should we let them join us? Come on in. Yep. Okay, so the first question we're going to address is why summer reading and math practice, why it's valuable, why it's something the district feels is important. Here's a picture of an old-fashioned summer slide. Everyone probably remembers going down something similar when they were kids. So the summer slide is actually an educational term that describes students sort of losing ground over the summer, particularly students who are living with the effects of poverty or who are already below grade level. So they go backwards over the summer because they're not practicing those valuable reading and writing and math skills. So we're trying to avoid them going backwards. It's a fun picture of a slide, but it's not fun for them to end up in September being even further behind than they were when they left in June. So we're trying to avoid that summer slide. We're seeing summer learning as a bridge between the 2 school years. So one side of the river is this school year, other side of the river is next school year, and summer learning is bridging that gap between the 2. Okay, so I have children of my own, and getting them to do work in the summer is not easy. I understand that from a mother's perspective. They fight you every step of the way. I want people to know that we're not expecting kids to give up on being kids this summer. Here's a list of things I still expect the kids to do and enjoy over the summer, and I think you can fit the summer learning in around the sunshine and those beautiful warm nights and vacation fun you might have planned with your families and swimming and all those things. Kids are going to be kids in the summer. They need to be kids in the summer. We're just going to fit summer learning in around all the fun that kids have during summer vacation. Okay, so there's been a whole lot of studies done about the summer slide and what happens to students when they're not in school over those summer months. And this is a really interesting piece of data that helps us to understand that we don't have to have kids do a lot in the summer to maintain their skills. In this case, they're saying if students read or were engaged in some other form of learning for just 2 to 3 hours per week, they prove that they didn't go backwards. So 2 or 3 hours a week translates to about 20 or 30 minutes a day. So you know how long those summer days are, right? They're up when the sun comes up and they go to bed when the sun goes down. They probably have 11 or 12 hours. We're looking at 20 to 30 minutes a day. That's all we're asking them to do, to engage their brains in 20 to 30 minutes per day. And this is a picture that I think sort of makes it clear to folks. Our brains really are muscles. So I know this is cute. We have to work them out. So we have to keep all the things that we've learned in the school year going throughout the summer. So we have to exercise our brains. And just like anyone who's ever gotten back into shape, you need a plan. So we want you to set up a workout plan with your kids. We want you to think about, just like you're trying to get back into shape, like the little smiley face at the bottom of the screen there. We want you to find a quiet location in your home for them to do that summer learning. We want you to reduce as many distractions as you can, which I know is not easy depending on how many kids are in the house and how many pets and all that good stuff, but we want it to be a quiet learning environment. I want you to choose a daily time or times. If that 20 or 30 minutes is too long for your students to sit and do work, make it 2 10 or 15-minute blocks. Make it 3, 7, or 10-minute, break it up based on what the students need, but choose a routine time so that you can say it's your time to do your summer learning today. And when you find this quiet place and you reduce distractions and you come up with the time, get all the materials that they need to do the work into that location so they don't have to make excuses like my own children do to tell you I can't do this, I need a pencil, I can't do this, I don't have paper, you know, the list of excuses they might make to try to avoid this. Get them everything they need in advance. And then, of course, celebrate any success that you have with getting them to focus in on this schoolwork during the summer. And if you do all those things, you sort of set up a weekly plan of 20 to 30 minutes a day. And again, I have 7 days on the week. I don't expect kids are doing summer learning work 7 days, but we have enough work going home with them that they could potentially do something all of the 7 days a week if you're able to get them to do that. Questions so far about the workout plan? Seems like it's doable, right? Like you might be able to manage this. All right, so parents, there's no way the district can help students to avoid the summer slide without your help. It really is like the school's on one side, the parents on the other. We push the puzzle piece together and it makes sense for kids, so we need your help to get this done. All right. In Windham, there are several things that are happening to continue this whole idea of summer learning. Separate from the packets that we're going to talk about tonight, we have a few things happening. First of all, we have 2 public libraries in the district. One's in Willimantic, one's out in the Windhams. And both of those public libraries have a number of resources available to families. Unfortunately, with the change in the governors, the public libraries are actually a little bit behind on their planning for their summer activities. They normally have them out already. We're about a week or 2 behind, so they should be coming out with those things soon. But last year at this time, they already had produced their giant calendar of events and activities that were planned. So I was hoping I would have those tonight to give you, but they haven't been generated just yet. We have our summer school by invitation only, which again is separate from the learning packets that go home. We have the public library sponsored events that will be coming out soon. And we have, even in the Parks and Recs department, the summer camp. Last year, they were able to build in a daily reading time for all the students that attended camp. We tried to make sure that the message was clear that keeping your brains engaged, your brain is a muscle, we want to work it out all summer long. Okay, so this next part is going into the specific requirements of each packet that's going home with students. I'm just going to give you an overview of all the packets, and then we're actually going to dig into them. You'll be able to see. I know you have multiple grandchildren. You get to see a whole bunch of them. All right, so the first thing is just an overview of what the district makes sure that every student has. So we're sending work home for every student starting at age 3 and going up to the incoming 12th grade. All of the packets are designed with kids. They're kid-friendly. They're designed to be engaging, to help kids just practice reading and math skills without asking them to do a whole lot, because we understand it's summer vacation. They all have some element of choice, so students can pick what they're interested in. Families can pick what they're interested in. You'll see what I mean when we dig into them. But we want them to know that they can choose something they like and do it over and over again, like some of the reading choices are an example of that. If there's a particular book they like, let them read as many of those books as they want. If there's a particular activity they enjoy, let them do that activity. It's still engaging their brain. We want to make as many connections back to the public library as possible, because those are free activities that students and families can take part in. Every packet has the opportunity to challenge the students. So they do what is required for their age group, and then there's a challenge that's listed to do the next age group's activity or some other variation. So everyone has the ability to do even more than we've asked. Every document is coming home in both English and Spanish. And all of the schools know there's going to be some kind of fall celebration for the students to be invited to when they complete these packets and bring them into school. They will get an invitation back to their summer learning celebration in September. Questions so far? So far, so good? All right. Okay, so the first packet, this is a picture of what the pre-K packet looks like. Each item is an activity that students can do, and you're going to see them when I hand them out. Like this one says, draw what you will play with today. So the kids would have a drawing. Make Play-Doh and play with a friend. Just kinds of age-appropriate. Help an adult make lunch. So they're giving them age-appropriate activities that engage their brain, and as they do these activities with their families, they get to color them in. There's a July summer fun with a whole list of activities and an August summer fun. So we're really just asking them to do many different things that involve reading, writing, or drawing, and math skills for the little guys, ages 3 and 4. Oops, wrong way. Okay, for the incoming students in grades 1 through 5, it's a little more specific because the kids are getting older. They have different skills to practice. We have our summer reading challenge. Basically, it's a list of activities where the students are trying to earn 30 points by completing the activities that interest them. They have a keeping track of summer learning form, so they're basically writing down what it is they're doing, and there's a few other questions they're asked to answer. And they have a challenge. If they want in the reading section to do more, they can take part in the Governor's Reading Challenge. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Governor's Reading Challenge, every year the governor puts out a challenge to help kids across the state of Connecticut to continue to read in the summer. That also is in the process of coming out because we have the governor's switch. We're not asking kids to necessarily do the Governor's Challenge, but they are welcome to do it to meet the challenge expectations if they've done everything the district is asking them. We're never going to stop kids from reading. In terms of math for students coming in from grades 1 through 5, there's a summer math challenge. It's very similar to the reading side. Again, they get to choose mathematical things that interest them. And there's a grade level math calendar, which is basically, it's about 5 weeks worth of activities, one a day, that gets them thinking about math, the skills that they've already learned in their previous grade to keep them up to where they need to be before they go on to the next grade. Grades 6 through 8, again, is very similar. They're going to read at least 2 books in the summer. We've given them a suggested reading list, which you'll see when we look at the packets. They have a reading project for their fiction book. There's a list of options again. We're trying to continue the whole idea of student choice. They have to do a nonfiction written book critique. And again, they can go back to the Governor's Reading Challenge for additional opportunities. And there's also some book talks that we are aware of that the Windham Public Library is holding. So we've told the kids if they go to the book talks, they get extra credit for doing that. On the math side, every grade level in grades 6 through 8 has a specific math packet, which is a review of all the skills they learned in their previous school year. And if your students are interested in completing a challenge, just like in the previous slide, they have the opportunity to complete the next grade level's math work. So if your 6th grader is doing a great job on their 6th grade math packet, or actually incoming 7th grade math packet, they can go on and try the next year's one. We want to constantly let kids know that they can stretch themselves if they so choose. Grade 9 through 12 looks very much is a similar format. They're going to read at least 2 books on their level. They have a reading log to complete, and they're actually doing a written response to a reading discussion question, which the high school students are going to use in their first week of advisory. They're actually going to have this discussion about these books in class in their next school year. They also have a challenge, Governor's Reading Challenge, and we're also giving them the link to the College Board website so that they can practice for their PSAT and SATs in evidence-based reading and writing. Same thing's true in the high school level with math. We have a packet for students going into Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, and students who are taking 12th grade math all have a specific packet that they'll work on. It's slightly different in the high school in that they're doing a review of skills that will help them do better in their math class in the fall, whereas the other grades are sort of keeping up the skills they already learned in the previous year. Questions so far? So the answer is yes, because all the materials are going to be available on the district's website. So yes, they can get whatever they need. So as long as whatever grade they're reading at, yeah, absolutely. The ultimate goal would be to get them to complete the work of their grade level, but you're absolutely, yeah, you can keep them working. Absolutely. All right, so summer learning resources. So all you need to know is how to get to the district's website, which I'm sure you already know, but it's windhamps.org. There it is. And there will be on the very first page, on the home page, a link to summer learning. In fact, if you go to that website right now, you actually see this link that tells you about tonight's workshop. So you just need to get back to the district's homepage and you will find a link to summer learning. All of the resources are going to be on that link for every grade level. In fact, all of the packets will basically be uploaded so you can print them off if you lost the packet that went home with your student or, you know, whatever could have happened. You'll be able to print off additional copies. Every child is bringing home one packet, and if you need another one, you're going to get them off the website. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to take a few minutes now and actually dig into the packet so you can tell me which grade levels you want to see, and we'll go from there. Okay. Going into 8th grade. Oops. Okay. So then I would just say take a look at out for reading math. Margaret, are you good? Okay. Any other questions? During the summer, if you happen to have any questions, I would first encourage you to reach out to your child's school. The issue with that is sometimes our principals are on vacation or the main office is on vacation. If that's the case, then I want you to reach out to me directly. And on the district website will be contact information for me, my email, and my phone number. I did field a number of questions last summer about summer learning, so I'm more than willing to get you what you need to make sure your kids are doing the work this summer. Any other questions? Hopefully we gave you some information about these 5 questions that we started off to try to answer. And I'll take any questions. I think we probably answered them already. All right. Thank you very much.